Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is first person tutor speaking, the voice of Bossman teaching, familiar face of WiStillaLearn, and of course, parents still learn, teachers still learn, students still learn, therefore, all of we still learn. Now, I I didn't realize that I was on all of the relevant pages so far, right? So why not just go to what is right in front of us? Let me make sure. Oh, there we go. All right. Let's scroll down a little bit. Yeah. All right. So we're actually, yeah, we're able to see us. You know, we're looking at ourselves at the moment, right? Um. So the interesting thing is when you want to get in contact with any of us, there's that blue button right there, right? Very easy to find. And of course, well, there's the WhatsApp channel here. I didn't even realize. I thought I'd placed the YouTube here, but apparently the WhatsApp channel is here. So you can find us on YouTube and over here, right? But again, let's okay, hold on. I want to do a little bit of magic. Give me 1 second, right? Wait. Oh, okay. That is all right. See, that's not okay. Yeah. Right. That's a technical, what do you call it? Technical difficulty. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Okay. Um, I want to look for. I want to actually look for. All right. So let's try this again. All right. No. Yeah, we're using Firefox. I know. I know. All right. Let's do a Google. Really? All right. Fine. All right. So we're at Google now, and we're gonna type in WiStillaLearn. We're gonna type that in. There we go. Yeah. 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 So they brought up the YouTube first. Interesting. Then they have the Instagram. Then they have the Facebook. Let me make sure. Yes, we're all on the same page. All right, good. Yeah, this is good because this has all of our information. So that's pretty good. Uh-huh. There we go. Now, what's interesting is that they included dominoes. I, I don't remember. I don't remember talking about dominoes, but sure. Okay. I wonder what AI mode has to say. Let's see what AI mode says about us. Okay. Yeah. Let me apologize for my alarm. What does it say? Da 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 da. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's math with points essentially means let's make abundant tangible habits with plenty of intentional notes to self, right? So yes, you know that's the whole point, right? So I feel like they did a good job of describing us, right? I feel like they have all of their, you know, their information about us is quite correct. This is the YouTube. This is the Instagram, right? So let's go to the YouTube. There we go. Now, yeah, I must make some updates to all of the announcements. I mean, the summer has been brutal, and as a result of that, I feel as though I wouldn't want anybody else to endure, you know, what I've been experiencing. So I feel like, we're almost back where we started. You know, it's almost like when you're preparing for a hurricane or you're preparing for COVID-19. You know, we're probably going to have the entire um well, I wouldn't even say the entire camp. But the idea is that I'm going to do a test run, have everything done digitally during the week, and if people are interested in meeting with us, then we can probably meet on Saturdays and Sundays. So that way, we compartmentalize. So let's say Monday to Thursday, we go live every day, Monday to Thursday. And if there's any interest in, being a part of what is happening here, then, we can have meetings on Saturdays and Sundays to, you know, speak on the ambition, behind WiStillaLearn. And, if it means starting slowly but surely, I have no problem, you know, humbling myself, yeah, because it's going to take a team effort. It's going to take, as indicated in the description, right? It's going to take steep, right? It is going to take the steep community, right? The students, teachers, and enthusiastically energized parents, yeah. That's the whole point, right? So yeah, the idea is that we want to make the experience meaningful for all of the kids, right? So I always have brain teasers, right? And I feel like that is something that has been a habit of mine since my, I guess you could call, Hill and Gully experiences with teaching in the year of, I would say, September 2025 going forward, right? Um, I taught quite a bit of PEP and incorporated, brain teaser, worded activities that I would get from a page on TikTok. And of course, the emphasis behind everything is that you're looking at the puzzle, and initially it's like you have the visual cue, but even though it's right there in front of you, it's not that easy for you to do, right? So I always give credit to the S show. Always give credit to the S show, because we're going to add an element to it that did not exist before, which is we're making it sort of like Hangman, fill in the blanks, right? So I guess you start with the rope, then you draw the circle, then you draw the neck, then you draw the body, you draw one arm, then the other arm, then one leg, then the other leg. Now I'm actually going to draw it. Not on the board here. Let me actually All right, so the rope then, so one, two, right? Three, four, five. Okay, so basically you'd have about 7 tries. Anyway, we can read what we have right here, right? Everything we need to know is in in the description here. Um and also, if you notice, we have this right here. Right? Same kind of description, right? And of course, oh, yeah, it even includes the YouTube itself, which is, I guess it's a way of saying that we can go back where we came from. So just in case we're a little bit lost, we can always, yeah, we can find ourselves again. That's what we can do, right? So if we're in a situation where we were on YouTube but we don't know how to find our way back, we can always click on this, and voila, we're back. Yeah. And of course, well, if you didn't know how to find Facebook, all right, it's taking a while. It's taking a while. Ah, there we go. There we go. All right. Yeah. So, oh, yeah, you can go to the featured section, right? There we go. Now, this is the idea, right? At least these were the activities that we wanted to do for Saturdays and Sundays, right? So everything you see on the board here, right, that represents what you would come to expect for the Saturdays and Sundays. All right, give me a second there. 1 second. Okay. All right. Where were we? So wait. Give me one more second. One more second. Okay. So yeah. I like that it's been on the board. Even though I think the video has a component where, half of the video is with the board in front of you and then the board disappears and then I appear to, give you some announcements, right? But yes, these are the activities. Hold on, let me dial it back. Yeah. So the puzzles, riddles, and brain teasers, right? Again, something that I've always done with my students and they really enjoy it. And if I incorporate it, in fact, it's it's a part of pretty much every lesson that I've ever taught. So might as well have it as part of WiStillaLearn, right? Then now we have checkers and Rubik's cubes. I think what checkers does is it allows you to conform to playing on diagonals only, so that way when you transition to playing chess, you understand what diagonals are, how to move diagonally, so that you already know how to move a bishop, right? The only thing is that you will not jump over pieces, you will replace the square, right? So the rules are different, but the principle is the same as it pertains to the diagonal, right? Then of course, we have chess over the board, digitally, word puzzles, or rather, the puzzles we get from the internet can be printed in paper form so that, um, kids can learn how to solve puzzles on paper as well as on screen, right? So you will have a little bit of paperwork, but nothing that's you know too tedious, right? I wouldn't think. And then of course the last part is where you get rewarded for making it through A, B, and C. If you make it through A, B, and C, then we can have, yeah, an all out demonstration of how to play all of your games, right? So your Scrabble, your Jenga, um, yeah, I can't even list everything. Oh, Clue. I think Clue would be a nice inclusion in terms of the board games. I've never actually played Clue, but I like the mystery element of it. I like the mystery element of it, so I do believe that I would like to learn how to play Clue. Because it is like Clue is like detective work meets Monopoly, right? Where it feels like it has a real life application to it, but it's still, you know, it makes you feel like, you know, it makes you feel like the question from DC Comics, or it makes you feel like Sherlock Holmes, all the classic detective tropes. I feel like Clue is a game that, apart from Connect Four, you know, apart from Connect Four and all the other board games that would be available, I feel like Clue would be a nice inclusion. So, all right, let's go back. Wait, hold on. This is what I forgot to do. Let me click on this, right, and come back here. Is there any? No, I didn't put any other. That's okay. Well, that's the beauty about the feature section. I feel as though depending on what is happening, we can always, you know, we can always shuffle, right? We can just put different announcements on the feature section each time, right? Oh yes, this is us going live. Yeah, yeah. So never mind that. Never mind that. Oh yeah, and of course, if you want to find the announcements, you can scroll here. But in all fairness, what I really should do as well, because um I'd recently I'm trying to remember what I'd recently reset the password for the Twitter account for WiStillaLearn. And I feel like, it's a good place to go when you want to get announcements. Same thing for the WhatsApp channel, right? Um, so if we go over here, you can click view in WhatsApp. Now, mind you, this is a desktop version, so I feel as though if you're using your mobile device, it won't ask you to view in WhatsApp, it will just take you straight to the channel, right? And we know what the Instagram and the TikTok looks like, right? We'll only click on these to prove that the links actually work, right? So therefore, this takes you to YouTube, this takes you to Facebook, this takes you to Instagram and TikTok. Um, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I wanted to add some instructions, but it's fine. I feel like people are aware of what to do. When you want to send a message on WhatsApp, um, you use the Facebook and the Instagram for that, right? Yeah, the Instagram and Facebook is perfect for that. Although, just to demonstrate one thing, the desktop version of Instagram doesn't show you. That's weird. Oh, you know what? Oh, that was painful. Oh my God, that was... What? What is going on? That reload page? What's going on? Okay, all right, I'm leaving that alone. I'm leaving it alone. Not every battle needs to be won. I wonder if TikTok will fail me too. No, it will not. No, it will not. It will not. It's taking... Really? You want... This is infuriating. Why do you think I am a robot? Why do you think so? That is insane. Oh, I am proud of these. So I took some screenshots of puzzles from the S show and I added my own audio to it, and look, it didn't do too bad views wise. 657 for the first one. You know, okay. So you have duplicate with the cat in red, and then you have spread with the number 2. So this is the idea of the worded puzzles, right? Of course, you're seeing the chessboards and everything like that, right? So, yeah, that's the whole point of WiStillaLearn, right? We want to incorporate the fun with learning. In fact, I would like to describe it as, you know, a rise after the fall. And the fall in particular is fun and lifelong learning. Yeah, so we're going to rise after we have fun and lifelong learning, right? So while we have a community that is steep, we are going to rise after the fall, which is, yes, we're going to rise after we have fun and lifelong learning. That is what we're going to be doing, yeah? So that is it. That is it. Our fall will be quite steep. Yeah? There we go. So, I mean, so far the only board game you're seeing is chess. And of course there's there older Rubik's Cube videos, which obviously needs some updating because I lost my Rubik's Cube, so I obviously need to get a few back, right? But yes, these are things that represent a few of our ambitions, right? Because it is WiStillaLearn and not me still a learn, right? So, I like how the TikTok page looks right now. I like how it looks. I like it. I won't lie. So, you know, even though some of what I would like to do isn't happening immediately as of now, I want to continue doing the work throughout the year to create the interest so that by summer 2027, you know, we can get something. We can do the opposite of Sony PlayStation. We can go from digital to physical. Oh my God. That's a ah yeah, that's kind of fun. All right. So I'm going to learn how to compartmentalize, right? When I want to give you a tour guide of how to find us on social media, I will probably use the YouTube live, and then maybe to give announcements or demonstrations of what it would be like. No, That's something that's a bit of a challenge, which I will have to practice. I have never used Zoom and XSplit at the same time. Never done that. I've never done that. Um, and the reason why I'm using XSplit is because, of course, when you lose access to Zoom Pro, you cannot go live on Facebook and YouTube from the platform, right? You can record your videos. And I think that's the solution, right? So the solution is I might have to record the videos on Zoom and then, of course, play them in the YouTube live. And then, of course, yeah. No, no, lie. No, we play it in the Facebook live, not the YouTube one. Yeah. So, yes, yes. Uh-oh. They stopped me. They stopped me from going further. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Well, I like how the page looks. I like how it looks, you know. Um I feel like although I'm not where I want to be. We're not where we want to be, but it's it's something that is a work in progress, and I genuinely feel like this is something that can materialize into something quite meaningful, quite fulfilling, quite productive for everybody involved, right? And also, there's a saying, right? We don't want to move accidentally. We want to move with intention, right? We want to move with intention. Therefore, if you notice, all of the descriptions tell you everything that you need to know. We have online modality, face-to-face modality. We have preparation for PEP, preparation for CSET maths, as well as, well, any other subject that depends on the teachers that I work with, right? Um, of course, for those who want to, if I will be your, when it comes to WiStillaLearn and of course first person tutor, I am your main chess instructor on both platforms. The only difference is that at WiStillaLearn, I am part of a team, whereas first person tutor, you're just dealing with me, right? And there is something that I'm gonna ask, right? So let's do the silly thing, right? Let's go to the Facebook here. Let's see. Let's go to the Facebook. Let's type in first person tutor just for the fun of it, right? Let's type it in. First person tutor, right? Let's type that in. Let's type that in. Let's see what they come up with. All right, there we go. Now, whenever you're typing in anything on Facebook, it's really fun because whenever you hover over the name, it brings up all the information. And the beautiful thing is you can actually WhatsApp your the intended page right from here. You don't even need to visit the page directly. You can search for the page, come right here and just press the WhatsApp button, and anything that you want to ask first person tutor or WiStillaLearn, you can do just that. Yeah, let's actually try it with WiStillaLearn as well. Let us actually see if we get the same results. Let's see. All right, you know, little Rubik's Cube video, right? All right, same thing. And what we do, we can press the button in blue right here. Yeah, so I feel as though, you know what I'm gonna do? Every time I go live, I'm gonna ask you to leave me a review. Like, leave me a review to let me know what you think of every live stream that we do. Just leave us a review and see if if what we've done is any of any assistance. If you find it in intuitive, instructional, if you find it helpful, right? Oh, yeah, this is a lot of fun. I like making these videos where I go through a lot of my games. And in fact, I'm going to simplify a lot of the terminology, right? Math with points will be on, it will be on WiStillaLearn, and points for ELO will be on first person tutor. That way I can simplify it. Maybe, there might be too much overlap with a lot of the terminology. So points for ELO makes sense because you fight for ELO points with chess. So you have that going. Let's have a look, see, or let's listen.
This is called, how should I put this? This is a game that I came very close to throwing away. This.
Oh, yeah, I think here's the problem I have with this. I described the game, but I never played through the actual game itself in this video. Um, oh, this is one of my older videos. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so the idea was I was supposed to leave this here for people to actually attempt answering, and then eventually I'd make a video where I actually solve the question. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you follow trends, and you know, sometimes it's not something that I am fond of doing. The thing that I despise in life is following trends. But I will follow a trend here or there, right? Oh, yeah, this is okay. So this is an August 2025 video. Okay. So I guess what Facebook is telling me is that these are my more popular videos on first person tutor. So obviously it means I need to step my game up a little bit, right? Well, yes, we are easy to find, right? Oh, there's something I forgot to mention. So you notice it will show you the number of followers here, right? I am kindly asking for 32 more followers. I don't need more than 100. Just give me the 100 so I can start going live from Facebook. Because apparently, the permission settings do not allow you to go live from your Facebook if you don't have 100 followers or more. So I'm kindly asking for that, right? And of course, as you know, the brainchild of what I might be saying it incorrectly, so let me dial it back. So WiStillaLearn is a brainchild of first person tutor / Bossman teaching, right? Yeah. let me say it correctly. If I'm going to be teaching literacy and reading, I need to have my ducks in a row, right? So yes, if you would like to work with me specifically, right, then of course you go to first person tutor, and of course, as you see, this is for adult learning for your children as well. So therefore, adults are free to come along. In fact, what I would make the argument that just to compartmentalize all the adults who feel like they might feel maybe as though nobody is catering to them because everybody's focusing on the kids who are in school and that sort of thing. I am here to say that if you're an adult and you would like to have classes with me, first person tutor is the perfect place to go, because I will make the effort of, ensuring that there is a place for adults who want to do their reading classes, do their mathematics classes, learn how to play chess, that sort of thing. So adults are welcome, right? And also for the so this is what I will do. As first person tutor, I would do the online classes at first person tutor, and maybe for the adults who want to learn from me personally, they can come in face to face. So face to face classes for adults, and then everything else will be online on first person tutor. And then at WiStillaLearn, everything is mostly face to face, with the caveat that the digital summer camp will all of that will be online, right? That will be online until further notice, until we have the mass appeal, the mass support, right? So there we go. Oh, I forgot about this. Yeah, you see, I like how my pages look. I have to be honest. I like how my pages look. I do, right? So this is a bit of shameless advertising, right? Just a bit. All right, no, I'm a little. Come on, I'm embarrassed right here. Let me tell you why. I needed to have my featured channels right here, and I don't think I made that update as yet. Oh well, these are past live streams. Some of them are, well, these are the ones I did on Zoom, right? And then this one is the, oh, this looks like how my TikTok Zooms look. I thought this was a TikTok Zoom, but apparently that's I thought it was my TikTok live stream, but apparently it's on Zoom. That's interesting. That's interesting. Anyway, again, when you're on any of the YouTube pages, you click on the writing in blue. It takes you here, and here we go. Yes, I'm going to start adding the Twitter pages to all of the descriptions. So I'm going to make that oh, I might, you see, I created too much space here. Yeah, okay. So, yes. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Yes. Um, I hope that. All right, I might be moving a little bit too fast. I'm shuffling between the different pages. Now, you can. I need. What's the word now? I need. I need feedback. Am I the only person that can't really handle the background being white? Meaning, almost everything I do is in dark mode. If you notice, look at this. I have dark mode for my YouTube, even dark mode for my Facebook, right? But you come over here, mind you, I personally believe that, let's say for example, you need assistance with lighting and you don't have a camera light. This is perfect for you, All right, so um all right, so let's not make this about me anymore. Right? We had enough conversation about first person tutor. I only need 100 followers, okay? That's all I need. Right? So, when I'm being selfish and narcissistic, yeah, that's gonna be first person tutor. But when I'm about the team, you're gonna hear from all of we at WiStillaLearn, right? That's so yeah, there's a difference there, right? Your little Rubik's cube, right? And mind you, I'm not as good as the super, what you call it, speed cubers. I like solving it, but the fastest I will ever play is games of blitz and bullet games in chess. That's the fastest I will play any kind of game. In terms of what I've seen the speed cubers do, I like being human. So I will teach your kids to solve a Rubik's Cube, but if they are better at it than myself, I am proud of them. So if they happen to be speed cubers already, they might be able to teach me, right? And that's the beauty of our community. Teachers can be taught that we still learn. So if there's something you know better than we know, then yes, you're free to teach us. Yeah, don't be afraid to teach a teacher. Don't be afraid. We welcome that over here at WiStillaLearn. Yeah, welcome that. Now let me scroll down and see what else is here. Okay, all right. A little announcement here, right? Oh yeah, yeah. The same board that I showed you. Again, if you notice, these are for Saturday and Sunday, right? So when you see the A, B, C, D on the board and you see the crazy list of activities, that will be for Saturdays and Sundays. Yeah. And I think I had a set of announcements with let me see if oh well, this is the one with the puzzles, right? The answer for this puzzle, look at the word through. It looks really full. It looks all caps. It looks dark, right? But compared to the the and symbol is very thin, right? It's very thin. So you're using antonyms. So you have thin, the opposite of thin will be thick. So therefore, the answer to this puzzle is through. The through is thick, the and is thin, so it's through thick and thin. Right? That's the answer for this puzzle. Right? So let's scroll. Oh, right. I remember doing this. Yeah, you know what? That's and okay. So let me say it like this. Everything about chess, I'm gonna compartmentalize. At first person tutor, I'm gonna do most of it digitally, right? Most of it will be done digitally, meaning you're gonna be looking at a 2D screen of a game I've played or puzzles and that sort of thing. All of that is going to be, digital, right? For first person tutor in terms of how I present chess. But at WiStillaLearn, it's going to be over the board like this. Yeah. Even though I could do over the board at first person tutor as well, but I feel like, for the purpose of giving people compartmentalized advertising, yeah, I'm going to make most of the videos on first person tutor about chess, where yes, I can show you over the board, but if I'm showing you over the board chess, it's gonna be performed at WiStillaLearn. Because at WiStillaLearn, we're going to be making abundant tangible habits. Therefore, if we're going to get hands-on, yeah, the hands-on approach will be done at WiStillaLearn. So this will be the WiStillaLearn version of me teaching you how to play chess. Whereas on first person tutor, it's going to look a little more, yeah, it's going to be, screen time. Right? And I can actually show, well, maybe I could. Maybe I could. I do have a Leeches account, I do have one. Let me. Alright, I have an idea. I have an idea. Alright. Give me a second as I switch over to. Alright, let's go to I don't want to. There we go. Alright. There we go. So just so we have an understanding, yes? If I am teaching you, if I'm teaching you chess at first person tutor, it's gonna look a little bit like this, right? Where it's very, yeah, the pieces are there, you know, you'll learn the rules, you'll learn how to move your pieces, right? So we'll go through coordinates, we'll go through piece movements, right? Um, I mean, sure, openings are definitely a part of understanding the game, the main entry into playing the game. Um, but I don't like stressing what you call it now. Yes, you need to know the basic opening principles because it does protect you for the most part. However, you will have opponents that will force you to break your own opening principles because of their unorthodox play style, right? So that's something that you have to be mindful of, and it's something that I try. Yes, you want to play by the book a lot of the times, but there are going to be times when you're not going to be able to do that. No, just so you understand, this right here is. Hold on, give me 1 second there. 1 second, I'll be right back. Yes, apologies, apologies. All right, where was I? Um, if you notice, there are notations on the side right here. Ah, I don't like them. I mean, they save time. They do. They save a lot of time in terms of it allows you to play the game as quickly as possible, right? The only problem I have with these notations is that they're quite non-specific because it will tell you the queen moves to that particular, let's say queen to b4 by example at move 14, where obviously if it's on the right hand side it's going to be for black, if it's on the left hand side it's going to be for white. Fine, that part is simple enough to understand. Here's the problem: queen to b4 says nothing to me. Why? Because where is it coming from? Queen to b4 from where? What square was the queen on before it landed on b4? So this is a fundamental problem that I personally have with these type of notations. I think it's lazy, right? We live in a world of AI and, people trying to automate everything already. And don't get me wrong, speaking of which, that's a topic that we will touch at WiStillaLearn. We're gonna have fun with AI, but not in a stereotypical way. I've actually incorporated AI into my classes that I've taught prior, and I found a way to make it really fun and interesting. Really fun and interesting. It's something that I've done, and kids really enjoy my take on how to use AI and make it interesting and fun and something that, because let's just be quite serious, I use AI to search for myself on Google, and sometimes I get it right, sometimes I get it wrong. And in fact, I have done, I've asked the AI to solve some of these chess puzzles for me at one point. I think there was a chess puzzle I saw on Facebook. And what happened was the rook was diagonal to the king, and it was a strange position. And this was the first time, I had no experience when it comes to solving chess puzzles at that level. Compared to who I am today, I didn't have the answers where I can just look on it and say, okay, I have an idea as to how to get to the solution now. Back then, I just didn't have the tools. I did not have the tools back then. So I'm there asking AI to guide me through this thing. And then it says to me, oh, the position is already in checkmate. Now, had I not known the rules of the game for myself, I would have trusted AI and I would have said, oh, well, there's nothing for me to do. And that is the danger. Yeah? Nothing is wrong with AI, you know. I consider AI like a calculator. A calculator on its own can't really do anything. Right? But if we're gonna be a little bit more morbid, let's say that AI is like a car or like a gun. Sure, a car by itself cannot crash into anything and cause harm. But if used incorrectly, you can cause an accident resulting in injury or casualties, right? So yeah, you have that aspect of maybe the vehicle. A gun by itself doesn't really harm anybody, but again, in the arms of the wrong person, yeah, you go off and you hit somebody with them bullets. That's where it becomes a problem, right? Now, I saw a TikTok video, and the TikTok video said something about the difference between, in fact, I think I follow her from WiStillaLearn, but it's this lady that goes through different words that mean nearly the same thing, but they have different contexts. So, for example, she was explaining the difference between envy and jealousy. And then she had another video where she was explaining the difference between misinformation and disinformation. And misinformation is essentially when you present false information, but it's done accidentally or because of ignorance and the fact that you did not know that it was false. Meaning you didn't intend to mislead people. You misled people, but accidentally. Whereas disinformation is misleading people intentionally. That's why in covert operations, you will hear them say something to the effect of, this is all part of our disinformation campaign. And a disinformation campaign is when you literally you present information about a person that was never true, but it's made to look like it is. That is disinformation, right? So anyhow, all of that is relevant because while I am not an opponent of AI. I'm not okay, we need to stop AI altogether. I don't believe in that, right? However, I do believe that just like anything, you can't lean on it for everything, if that makes sense, right? So for example, I have a bus card that I use to travel. There are going to be times when that bus card will be useless to me, right? I can't take that bus card and go on a coaster, right? I have to have my $150 or $200 on me, and I get the coaster, the who we call the doctor. Yeah, I'm gonna get the doctor man and just give him the 150 or the two bills, and there you go, right? So there's time and place. There are gonna be times when, you know, for instance, if internet or electricity goes and you have no AI, no Google, none of that to search, how are you going to find the information? Do you know how to read your books, go to the library, Or do you have a library at home? You know, where are you getting your information? Is your information reliable? How do you know what information makes sense? But even though I'm being a little bit philosophical here, right? Um, realistically, um, the I want to say that an argument like this kind of came up when I was teaching my students at one point, and they asked me, why do we need to go to school if we have AI, we have Google and all of that, we have everything we need? Why do we need to go to school? And I feel like the I was not yet prepared for that sort of question. Because I tried to make my point, but I didn't have the firm answer that I have today. The answer I have today is this. It is possible for the AI to misinform you. Sometimes AI can get it wrong. And if you trust something that can get it wrong sometimes, how do you know when they get it wrong versus when they get it right? How do you know? Going to school helps you to know whether you get it wrong or right. Yeah, because then you can look and say, but I don't I don't I don't I don't really see how this. So for example, you will ask the AI to find some information for you. It finds the information, but something about it is incomplete. And you will literally type it to the AI. You say, but doesn't this person also have this? And doesn't this person also have that? And doesn't this person also do this? You know, by example, if you were to ask them about, let's say, Sylvester Stallone, and they say, oh, you know, he's a famous actor. Yeah, but isn't he also a producer and director and blah, blah, blah? You know what I mean? Like, if it gives you incomplete information, you are able to challenge the AI and say to it, hey, but there are other things as well. Isn't this person also capable of these things as well? So, for example, I had a chess puzzle where I had a I had a rook in a position that could not do anything to save the king because it left the back rank and I was able to drop the queen and deliver the checkmate. So if I ask the AI model why was this effective, they would say, oh, you know, but the rook could capture the queen on so and so, so this isn't a checkmate, right? But then you look and you say, wait, but aren't the rules running contrary to what you just said? Meaning, rooks don't move diagonally. So how could the rook capture the queen if the rook leaves the file and the rank, or rather leaves the rank, but it can't capture the queen like that, right? So anyhow, the point that I'm making is that it's important that we know the differences, yeah. So maybe I will make that. I'll make that a part of our curriculum there. I will do that. I will do that. Why not? Look at this. The description here is a little bit lacking, and it doesn't reflect all of what is true at WiStillaLearn. So this is a nice little practice run. I genuinely hope that at some point in time when I go live again, we will keep informing, we'll keep educating and entertaining. And yeah, so the idea is to do this between Monday to Thursday. And of course, anybody that has any questions, any, you know, any questions, I would have given you the instruction on how to reach us. You can reach us using the Facebook and Instagram page. There's a WhatsApp button on them. You press the WhatsApp button, and you can find that WhatsApp button on the mobile and desktop version of Facebook, right? So if you're on your phone, press the WhatsApp button. If you're on the laptop, press the WhatsApp button on Facebook, right? Very easy to find. Of course, just to. Oh yeah, it kind of delayed a little bit. I was a bit worried. Oh, I didn't even need to go to the page. It was right here. Yeah. So you can go to the page and press the WhatsApp button, or you can, type it. So you can type it in your search, right? When the page comes up, there you go. So you can hover over the page itself, and the WhatsApp button is right there, right there, right there. So if you don't even want to, if you just want to have a conversation, you can just do this and bypass all the I don't want to view the content, I don't want to watch any more videos, I've seen it all, I just want to talk to somebody. This is how you go about doing that. And then the beautiful thing is there's a WhatsApp channel here where if you want to peruse anything else, you can do that as well. So yeah, lots of options, right? So I feel like we've done a good job of navigating this entire experience, right? Yeah. Yeah, this has been quite informative. So, I'd like to say again, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This has been First Person Tutor speaking, the voice of Bossman Teaching, familiar face of WiStillaLearn. And yeah, we're going to be making abundant tangible habits with plenty of intentional notes to self. We are going to be learning from the fall. Yeah? Even when it is steep, we're learning from the fall because, of course, steep is students, teachers, and energetically enthusiastic parents, or enthusiastically energized parents, whichever one. And then, of course, we're learning from the fall, which is learning from fun and lifelong learning. So, yes, that's what we're doing, right? Our rise will be steep because we are learning from the fall. How about that? Yeah. Anyway, let me not bore you. Let's just put an end to the stream. And we're going to probably be on YouTube again a little bit later. We'll see how that goes. We might compartmentalize. We might have 2 days YouTube, 2 days Facebook. or maybe a session for both on each of the days. Why not? Anyway, it's fine. We're going to do YouTube and Facebook because we have reason to use YouTube. For YouTube, we'll use it to give you a full tutorial on how to find us everywhere, right? So the YouTube will be the tutorial live. Then the Facebook one now will be where we show you the activities, right? The activities that are available. And then, yeah. So there we go. So again, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This has been First Person Tutor speaking, the voice of Bossman Teaching, familiar face of WiStillaLearn, right? There we go.